you. It's very annoying. The ambusher is the debater. The ambusher is somebody that is waiting for you to say just the right thing because they have just the right answer, and they'll pounce. They'll just pounce and jump on what you just said, and in kind of an argument. And the insensitive listener is someone who just kind of doesn't get the meaning. So they can listen to everything, and they can actually parrot back every single thing that you've said, which is also a little disruptive because you think they haven't been listening, but if you say, okay, now repeat back everything I said, they can do that. But they don't have the meaning. These are your children because you're trying to get the point across, and you say, okay, you weren't listening, repeat every single thing I said. And they can, but they still have missed the whole context of what you're trying to say. And then there's the judgmental listener. This listener is kind of what I call the dukes up guy, in the sense that you're talking to this person, and as soon as you barely get something out, they're ready to convince you about something else. They're ready to convince you that what you just said was wrong, or they're absolutely reacting to what you said.
So what's the difference between an ambusher and a judgmental listener?
Okay. Great question, actually, because they're really kind of close. The ambusher is more like he's in it for the game, and he's having fun with this because he knows what he wants to say, and he knows what he wants to come back, and so you just gave him what he wants, so bam, he did it. Now, the judgmental listener, what's different about that is he's got an emotional connection with this, and there's something in it for him to persuade you differently. And in the context of sales, this is who we are. We tend to be the judgmental listeners. It's more than a game for us. It's our living. I mean, it's our living to persuade people to buy radio commercials. So when a client says something, it's not just the game of ambush. It is the judgmental listener who we're really trying to change their whole way of thinking. We want them to give us money for what we think. So it's very, very important to us. So that's the difference. That make sense?
Totally.
Cool. Okay. Okay. Let's tie all this into the sales process. So when we talk about the client needs analysis, or the CNA, one of the things that we talk about is how important listening is to this. And this is exactly why I wanted to go over active listening today, because I want to really underscore how important listening is to the CNA and what it is to the sales process in and of itself. And here's why. We need to find out these 9 things when we have an interview with the client in order to be able to put a complete presentation together that we think might help solve their problems. So let's just go over them again. There's a predominant buying motive of our client. Is our client a glass is half full kind of guy, or is our client a glass half empty kind of guy? So is the motivation for them to buy in that they hope they can gain something by this advertising contract, or are they afraid they're going to lose something if they fail to purchase this advertising contract? It's a complete different way of looking at it. The client is not going to tell you this. He's not going to say, oh, I'm a half empty kind of guy. He's just not going to do that. You're going to have to discern that by listening carefully and by being open enough when you're listening that he can reveal that personality, that you're going to be able to figure that out. We also need to find out about the pressure of competition. So who are his competitors? How does he rank among them? Who does he see as stronger than he? Who does he see as weaker than he? We need to know the communication requirement. What does the client want to communicate about his business that would encourage people to do business with him? What is his budget? We need to know that, obviously, or we don't know what kind of idea to bring back. What is the particular product or service that he is trying to advertise? Who is his customer profile? Who is he currently doing business with, or who would he like to do business with? And we would match that up with our radio station. We want to know his feelings about radio, because that's going to help us know how easily persuaded he's going to be. We need to know his business cycle. When is he going to be advertising? When is he not going to be advertising, according to the way his cycle goes? And we need to know who the decision maker is, so we can be talking to the right person. That's pretty important. So these are all the things that we need to know in the CNA in order to make the presentation something he's going to want to buy. If you don't listen at this point, then you're not going to have enough to have the presentation in which he's going to buy it. Let's tie this into the 5 criteria for making a sale. These are the things that need to happen to make a sale. All 5 things have to be in place, or the sale is not going to be made. Good listening is going to help you get all 5 things in place. So credibility is very important. The more you listen, the more the client is going to trust. The more you feed back with really good active listening skills and clarify the things the client is talking about and show interest, the more the client is going to be drawn to you, because you're demonstrating trust and you understand about his business and you care. So good listening is going to enhance your credibility. It is also going to help you get to the bottom of what his need is. And when you ask the right questions, you're in a position to show how our service is going to lock onto his need, how our service is going to help him accomplish what he's needing to accomplish. So good listening is going to take care of 60% of this sales process. Now, good listening isn't going to impact whether you've timed your appointment correctly or whether this is the time for the advertiser to be advertising, but you're sure going to be able to get information about his timing in the marketplace, and you're going to be able to find out information about his investment. You can't put money in his pocket if he doesn't have enough to do the plan that he would like to do. But good listening is going to give you information about timing and investment. So good listening impacts all stages of this in order for you to have everything in place to make a sale. So from the context of the CNA is the heart of the sales process. If you listen really well, you're going to be able to do a good CNA. That's the heart of the sales process. And if that's the heart of the sales process, that good listening is the blood flow. It's critical to your success as a salesperson. So good listening is going to give you credibility with the client. It's going to make you successful as a salesperson. And good listening, I promise, will also enhance your love life.